Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. Excited to have my friend. He is a dear friend. He's a bigwig in town, I gotta say. He's an amazing human being, super, super great guy, and he also happens to be state attorney. Andrew Bain is with us today. We're going to talk all things state attorney. Do you even know what a state attorney is? Not you, but my audience. We're going to learn a little bit about that. And of course, he is running for re-election, specifically for the state attorney position. So I wanted to have him come on and share some of his thoughts on that. Welcome, Andrew. How are you today?
Hey, what's going on, Ted? How are you? It's always good to see you, my friend.
Always good to see you. Love your energy, love your spirit, and I love the fact that you were Judge Bain, and then you became State Attorney Bain. And so before we take a deep dive into that, tell them a little bit about you.
All right. Well, my name is Andrew Bain, and I am the state attorney for the Ninth Judicial Circuit. That covers both Orange and Osceola County, which means that the basic idea is I'm the chief prosecutor for both of those counties. So if you think about the second half of Law and Order, I am those people that prosecute crimes for our circuit. So pretty much anything criminal that comes through somebody being arrested outside of the federal government arresting you will be processed through my office most likely. And so we cover everything from misdemeanor cases all the way to you hear me talking about the homicides and gang violence type wrong kind of cases that are coming in. And so we handle everything in between. And so I'm originally from South Florida. I grew up in a small town called Lauderdale Lakes. Went to high school in Pompano Beach at a school called Ely. I played football there. I was an honor student there. I got a lot of offer letters to play football a lot of places, but then I chose the University of Miami, where I was a starter there for almost 3 years.
Wow.
And I had my chance to take my talents to New York. My body was not as good as I hoped it would have been at that time, and so they sent me back. But at the University of Miami was the first time that I had an opportunity to find and talk to lawyers and found my love for the law. And so I started getting ready for law school after I was done playing football. And I ended up at FAMU right here in Orlando. I graduated from there downtown, and I started at this office as an assistant state attorney, as a prosecutor. I did that for 7 years. So I handled, again, misdemeanor cases, everything up to just about dealing with homicide. So I did all the major crimes, attempted murder, gun cases, gang cases, those type of things like that in my prosecution portfolio. And I applied to become a judge in 2019, and then finally was appointed in 2020. And I served there for 3 years. I was elected in 2022. Talking to Ted about that, we elected a lot of people in 2022 to be an Orange County judge. And the governor asked me last August now, a little over a year ago, to come back to run the office after really witnessing some troubling trends and things that were going on to the people that I love here in the circuit. So we've been working really hard to kind of turn the ship, and I think we've done a great job in doing that so far.
I mean, so much. So what's that call like when you get from the governor? Just curious. Is that nerve-wracking? What's that like in the most generic way that you can share?
Well, truthfully, I'll tell you, right? Like, I missed the call. So I was playing. I have 2 daughters. So I've been married to my wife for the last 17 years. And we have 2 beautiful baby girls. One of them is 8. The other one's going to be 7 here in about less 14 days. She's going to be 7. Wow. And when your daddy. So daddy was helping her get ready for her piano lesson and helping her get situated. And actually, I missed the call, and so it was I got call back, and They told me kind of what the situation was, and I had to take a little moment to talk to my wife about it, kind of prayed about it, and decided that my best suit is to serve, and so it's just another capacity to help me serve more people. So that's what we decided to do.
I mean, you've always had, I think, a servant's heart. Public service is not for everyone.
No.
Talk about, you step into the role after you're appointed. What was it like? Was it completely different than you imagined? Because you had some experience as an assistant, not DA, that's what we call it in SVU land, state attorney. But when you are the head chief, what did that bring along? What was unexpected about that when you took office?
I think so much media. I didn't really think about how much media goes into this, whether it's press conferences or interviews, or like me talking to you on a radio show, and it's so much media, and how much the media asks for of our office, either in media requests or public records requests. There's a lot of media involved, and I didn't expect. I knew what the work was. I knew the job. So like the actual, getting my attorneys ready for court, putting them in the best position to succeed while they're in court, providing the type of office that I wanted to be for it to be like under my administration. Those were a lot more easier to envision. But some of the media was kind of a shocking thing coming into the role.
Well, yeah, you're out in public. I mean, you're the voice, right? So yeah, the media it's an interesting thing. It is so much a part of the job because they're always looking at you for the final answer. The buck stops with you. Talk about the counties, because your particular state attorney, you're over Orange and Osceola.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about that, because the counties are completely different. Multiple players underneath within the counties. Do you find that you have different focuses and different needs and different ways of approaching things depending on the county?
Yeah, I mean, well, they're just two differently run counties, for instance. So Orange County is a mayor-run county. So we decided a long time ago in Orange County that the mayor was going to be kind of the centralized power figure in the county. Where in Osceola County, it's the exact opposite. The county manager is more of kind of the person that runs things and makes all the decisions, and is employed by the commission, but not, as controlling. Yes. And so those are just two totally different dynamics when you're trying to accomplish similar type of goals when it comes to criminal justice, for instance. So we have to kind of approach it in different manners. Like, so is this trying to get things, talking to Byron Brooks, Mr. Brooks, or talking to Mayor Demings, to going to Osceola and dealing with a lot of the different people that kind of in that situation, and so it's a little bit different situation, and we have a big metropolitan area here down in Orlando, for instance, and then Osceola is a really suburban and rural area of, like, most of the counties are like that. And so it's a lot of different things that go on, from the different types of people, cultures, languages, the kind of Poinciana, and for instance in Osceola is a kind of mishmash of like random things happening, not just a large Puerto Rican population, but Puerto Ricans not from New York, from the island, from other places. After Hurricane Maria, we had a big influx of Puerto Ricans to the area, and so it's a lot of things happening all over the county. And you not even talk about places like Apopka, which was mostly a Orange Grove rural area, which is now turned into a really now more suburban area.
So diverse.
Winter Garden and things like that. So it's things going all over the place. So it's a large area to meet a lot of the demands of the people that live in that area, those areas.
So let's talk about it. You've been in office how long?
It would be 1 year and 2 weeks. Pretty much.
1 year, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So what are you most proud about what you've accomplished so far? What is something that sticks out to you that you're like, I am so glad that I got in and I was able to do this or that?
I'm really excited about what we've been able to do on the second chance program that I created. And I'm also really excited about all the different things we're doing on the juvenile prevention and intervention spaces. And one of the things that I always wanted this office to be, and so again, it's like we talked about a little bit ago, like Lawson Lamar designed this area of the building where I am.
Yeah.
And he was a very innovative prosecutor at his time, like very innovative. I think just time kind of caught up, and he just didn't have the space to push even further. But when I had the opportunity to do what I wanted to do for this office, what I always wanted to do was take what we do best in our communities and partner it with what the office and the community needs as far as criminal justice. And so that's what I've been so excited to do, from the different partnerships. We have basically like almost 30 different nonprofits or different other agencies that are part of several programs inside of the office. And so to kind of be able to put all of that together has been, it's been amazing.
Your face lights up when you talk about it.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Like if you think about it, like we took, so for so long in the criminal justice system, we've been ignoring underlying reasonings and conditions of crime.
Yes.
Like we never addressed why the crime was occurring. We just said crime occurred, this is the punishment, and that was it. That's kind of what we were known for as a criminal justice system. But it was like, we had such an opportunity to do so much more than that, to say, yes, there's crime, but why is the crime happening? Is it because of poverty? Is it because, like, when my juvenile literacy program, people think that the people sometimes don't believe the numbers and statistics when I tell them about the literacy rates when it comes to juveniles and even adults. I have a radio show myself that comes on every Wednesday on 98.5 The Wire, and we talked about that. And we did, the statistics say almost 375,000 people that live in Orange County struggle with literacy.
Yes.
Think about that. That's an crazy number. And it's all things that we can do something about. We can provide help. We can provide training. We can provide assistance with that person. Because you got to think about, a lot of people that listen to you like right now, think about if you couldn't read.
I know.
How your world would be dramatically changed, and how you would struggle to do just about everything and anything in your life, from renting a house to buying a car to just doing basic grocery shopping. And I noticed because like my great grandmother was illiterate, so I used to go to the Publix with her, and when I was a kid, and like I would have to go, show her, like tell her where to go. Like this is what there was. Here's where the rice is. Here's where this is. Read the signs for her because she couldn't read.
Wow.
So that just think about that, and that's those all things that feed into the reason why crime occurs. And so, and this has been a real good opportunity.
I love listening to you talk about that because you can tell. You can tell the excitement, and I think literacy. There's so many factors that lead up to certain behaviors, and as people grow and those behaviors become more and more challenging, and their lives become more and more challenging, there's a lot of consequences that come from that. And so, how awesome to be able to work on that early on. You could have walked away. You're up for the elections are this year. You could have had your 1 year and 2 weeks plus, or 1 year and a couple of months, and said, okay, it's been real, guys, but I'm going to move along. Why do you want to continue? What's your why? What are you excited about coming up? What's your rationale behind that?
Well, I'm excited to continue the work of doing both of those things, dealing with underlying issues, but also not making excuses for people that hurt people in our community. That those two things can't really coexist at the same time, in the sense where, I understand why you may be in this situation, why this could have happened, but it can't take away from the consequences from this thing happening, what you did. And I saw that like this little is way too much. And I was one of my roles when I think we talked about when I ran last time was a judge was to sit at the jail as the bond judge, as people will call it. And I just see the same people committing the same violent acts over and over again. And so it's something that like the reason why it was like, yes, go serve. You can do this. You can go help people. You can protect people. You can do what you do best. And that's what we've been able to do. And I want to continue that work going forward, in both making sure that we can prevent and deter crime when it comes to our programming, but also to be there for our victims when something does happen, and to prevent that from continuing to happen. And so that's really what I love to do and what I want to continue to do.
You just speak passionately, my friend. It's palpable, and I appreciate that. All right, one last question before you give all your good information on how people can learn more about your campaign. When I say the word hero to you, who's the first person who comes to mind?
My dad.
Tell me why.
My dad was exactly that. He had, if you looked at his life growing up, he had every reason to end up in the criminal justice system. My grandfather ended up leaving the family. So there was like a breakup there. There was domestic violence. There was alcoholism. There were all these things that would have driven him to a life of crime. And he raised two great young men. They're now fathers and, good men later on. So if I can just accomplish that, and making sure that I'm going to raise two wonderful daughters, they're going to love their communities, love God, and do what's the best for the people that are around them. I've done more than made him proud.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. I love to hear people's heroes, because you know what? We don't say it out loud enough about our heroes. So thank you for sharing that. All right. State Attorney Andrew Bain, how can they best find out more about you, vote, get behind you, learn more, whatever it is? How can they reach you?
Yeah, you can go to votebain.com. Keep it very simple. Just votebain.com. You can get to all social medias. From there, you can learn about what's going on in the office and what we've accomplished so far, both in making sure that we're holding violent offenders accountable and a lot of the other intervention programs that I haven't even got a chance to talk to Ted about today. And so there are a lot of things happening here, and this is a very important race because this is about your quality of life. This is about the type of community that you want to live in, and who do you want to make sure that is buying into this, is paving the way for that. You've had an opportunity to see where this office is not functioning well here in the community. You've had opportunities to see around the country where this office isn't functioning well. You look at Chicago, you look at LA, you look at San Francisco, look at New York, Philadelphia. You can keep going on and on and on. And that's not the type of city that we want to be. We want to be the city beautiful. That's where we are, the city of Orlando and here in Orange County. So we want to continue to do that type of work that's going to make sure that we're going to be able to maintain that. And my role is a big part of making sure that happens. And so you've seen what we've done over the last year. You've seen the work that has been done. All you have to do is go back and look it up, and you'll find that we've been holding up to every bit of the promises that I made when I came into this job. And so super excited to continue to do this for the people of Orange and Osceola. Always super excited to be with my friend Ted.
Oh man, I love spending time
and
with
this guy, he always, I feel like I got to dress up every time I see him.
Not today, man. I'm dressed down. You look so good. That bow tie looks good. You always are classic, man. I'm
super excited, man.
I'm excited for you, y'all. If you want to learn more about Andrew, I encourage you to look on his social media. Go to votebain.com. You can reach out to me. I'll connect you. I think it's super important that we get to know our community advocates, our community leaders, our public servants here and anywhere. It's just really, really awesome. And that's why I love having guests like you on, because people get to see not the media side, because we're not all bougie media here, but you get to we get to have a real conversation, and I appreciate you sharing that with me. All right, State Attorney Andrew Bain. Go to votebain.com, y'all. Check him out. I appreciate you, brother. God bless you and your
family. I appreciate you, my friend.